Hello everyone, WX Ninja back with another California wildfire and weather update. Today is October 31st, so happy Halloween. I know it could be a lot better for some out there, especially down in California. If you do want to keep getting updates on from the fire and the weather, go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the bell icon. You'll be notified as soon as I make a video. Another thing I want to mention is if you do live in the California area or know someone that lives in that area, leave me a comment and let me know. Let me know what you're seeing down there. The reason I bring that up is because last night I was going through YouTube and watching some different videos, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. A lot of people saying things that just aren't true, trying to make things look worse, trying to make things look not as bad. So it's just kind of all over the map. So if you are down there or do know someone down there, leave me a comment and let me know. Let me know some of the stuff that's really going on. I mean, you can get pretty reliable stuff from the news channels down there, but people like to twist stories. So anyhow, here we're looking at the overall map. First, I'm going to talk a little weather, and then I'm going to get more into the fire stuff. And the reason I want to bring up to the weather is to show you what's going on in California. Little windy, little warm in spots. You see the eastern part of the country is going to get a very stormy Halloween. But if this map would update, I wanted to zoom in here to California. Now, you do see some 70s, some 60s. So it's still kind of warm out there. Mountainous terrain, obviously, is going to be colder. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water there. So still relatively warm. You see these are wind barbs. So you see them pointing. The way they point, that's the way the wind's blowing. So the wind's coming from this direction, blowing to the southwest. So it's going offshore. That's the warmer wind. There's probably just some wind in some canyons and stuff. But you can kind of tell if you start looking at these barbs, the way they're pointing, high pressure's in here. And so that's what's keeping us high and dry. So let's talk about the fire. Again, all these links will be in the description. So if you want more information, you can scroll down and you can read through all these different links, and you can get different information. This page has just different information on the different fires. This first one is the Getty fire, I believe. Yeah, 39% contained. And then it just kind of goes over some information, borders of evacuation, mandatory evacuation. Then it should have the next fire. Goes through all the same stuff. Then they'll have their press conference information. That lady doesn't look too happy for some reason. So one thing I want to mention about yesterday, crazy fire day. Saw lots of different fires pop up. Reasons why these fires are popping up, it's not really like they're spot fires from the fires that have already ignited. So there's just different things going on, different elements. I know that they're talking about the Getty fire now was a branch that hit a power line and sparked, and there's actually some views of that, video online of that you can see. And then there was, like last night at 1:30 in the morning down in California, there was a car chase, and the car they were chasing kind of crashed and went off into some brush, started a wildfire. There was some structure fires. There was a huge pallet fire last night that it was pretty amazing to see. Started about 8:30 California time last night and quickly spread. They were able to get it under control as far as keeping it contained into just the pallet yard. But this is the LA Fire Department Twitter page. So again, they got some good information. One thing I'm seeing is, where is this? At 10 a.m., all mandatory evacuation orders and warnings are lifted with the exception of the following. So it sounds like even though the fire is not 100% contained, they have it pretty well under control. So that's that. And then if you look here, this is LA. The mandatory evacuation zone is really tiny. If you remember right yesterday, the mandatory evacuation zone, if the page would load, was this whole area. It went kind of like this all the way down to the ocean and back across. It was a huge area all the way over here to one of these roads was in the get ready to evacuate area. So they really were able to hit this fire hard overnight and get it under control is what that tells me. Some favorable weather conditions kicked in. That's Kincaid Fire. It says 60% contained. So they really got in there and did some stuff. The Easy Fire is the other one. Man, it broke out and just exploded. It's 1,500 acres, only 5% contained. Now the wind should be trying to die off, so that should help things down there. Here's the Ventura County. This is the Simi Fire. As you can see, lifted. All the evacuation zones are pretty much done. Yeah. That was yesterday, so wind-related outage. Remember, this is a power outage map, as well as a fire evacuation, shelters, road closures. Like that's a shelter, that's a road closure. Up top here, you can type in your address to see if you're in one of these areas. So it's not just for fire; it's for power outages too. In fact, let's look here. Active pieces of areas with limited power. So it looks like a lot of areas have limited power. Hopefully we won't see a big breakout of fires like we saw yesterday. We don't need to see that again. All right, let's get into the forecast. So what's going to happen? Is the wildfire threat going to increase, decrease? What's going to go on? So high pressure right here. The winds come around the high pressure like this. That's why when the high is over here, it blows the Santa Ana winds. So you can see it's here. That's why the winds are lessening. It's kind of moving off. So as we go forward through time, you see the high goes up northwest. Just kind of moves around. So it still will be a little bit windy, but not as bad. Now look at the East Coast. Big Halloween storm. Oh, some heavy rains and winds. Probably some lightning. Snow on the backside. Some wraparound moisture there. There's going to be snow in the Great Lakes region. Look at it kick off to the east there. Go straight to the New England states. As we see another shot of cold air come down here to the central part of the country. It actually comes down, flattens out as it goes around this low. So that's a pretty strong low, 982 millibars. So you're going to feel the effects of it. And we just got kind of high pressure. It's kind of a, other than this low up in the Great Lakes region, it's pretty quiet overall throughout the U.S. this weekend. With this high pressure being here, it's probably going to push a little bit of wind. Then you got some snow up in the Great Lakes region. That kind of moves off. Say just as quiet out the west. You have another high pressure in here, but excuse me, it's going to depend how close it gets. See, high pressure is just building. Okay, and then you get a little system coming down from Canada. Hit the Montana, you get some rain in the Great Lakes. That's interesting. Seems like it's a little too warm for that. Then you get this kind of sweeping across the country. More rain for the Great Lakes. A little stronger system. Gets a little more organized, I should say. I start to see some showers develop along the Gulf Coast. Another low moves off the New England states. And right behind it, look what happens. Ta-da! More snow for Montana. So, still haven't seen any rain in California. We were talking about rain yesterday for California later in this run. We'll see if it shows up again. Look at how stormy it gets kind of, though, down into the central part of the U.S. here. Get some Gulf moisture kind of hanging around here. Up and through Texas, Louisiana. And then it scoots off. Starts to form up and scoots off to the east. Yeah, nice little front forms there. Little rain maybe for the west coast. Now you get a low off the coast of the Carolinas. And look at the high pressure coming over to California here. Just what you don't need. It's really what you don't need. It's that high pressure setting up right there because then nothing can come in there. Can't get any rain, any wind. Look, another low pressure center across the eastern coast. Snow up to the New England states. See some snow moving across the Great Lakes. Now we get a rain producer coming in. This is November 9th. So yes, it's a long ways out in the future, but again, we look at trends, see what's going to happen, see what's possible. Do we keep seeing the same thing over and over again? We've been seeing this rain in this model for a while now. Kind of a bigger system moving through. And now it dies much more quickly. Pretty quiet across the most of the U.S. I'm just watching the West Coast. There's another system coming through. This is Veterans Day. You see a little bit of a ice storm setting up there. The rain behind it. Now look, this is the first time we see California get rain. This is November 12th. And I can tell you that it's kind of backed off with this system for rain for California. You see that high pressure that sets up to the south? It just won't let that system sweep on through like they need. It's going to keep California high and dry. I mean, that's not really enough rain to enough of the state to do anything. Big low off the East Coast. This stuff, you just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I'm just looking at some. Okay, so here it is. So you see this rain coming into California? Don't hold your hat on it, because every single run it's had rain at the end. And by that I mean this is never progressing forward in time. Like right now it shows it for November 16th. Last time I looked at the model, it was showing it for about November 15th. Before that, it was showing it for November 14th, meaning it's always at the end of the run. So it's trying to put rain into California, but then when it starts to get better data on that, it's just saying, no, it's not going to happen. So those are the kind of things, those are the kind of trends you look for in models as they are far out in the future like this. So let's go over the snow forecast real quick, and then we'll do one more thing and get out of here. All right, so you see snow across the Great Lakes, across the Intermountain West. This is right now, or 24 hours from now. Here's 48 hours from now, pretty quiet, not much going on. 72 hours from now, not much going on snow-wise. I start to see a little bit of snow coming into Montana. This is for Monday. It's into Tuesday. Kind of just sweeps down, gets into the Intermountain West region there. Sticks around in Montana, a couple more inches. Boy, if you live in Montana and like snow, you're in heaven right now. I wouldn't mind being over there. Montana's a beautiful state. You see the snow just kind of drip down with the front and then head off to the east. Maybe 2 to 6 inches, parts of the east coast there. On Friday, this is next week. Then as that low's pulling off, there's still that wraparound moisture, if you remember. So that's probably what it's going with, 6 inches. Elevation, I can't tell if that's down to sea level or not. This model doesn't go that direct, if you will. See a big system kind of swooping its way across the northern states there. Same kind of deal. Again, we're way out in time, but we're just looking. There's some mountain snow for the west. Pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. Snow in the regions you expect. Same kind of deal. And then it says a bigger snowstorm for most of Montana and Dakota, Minnesota. Sorry, not Wisconsin. So we'll go to the last model. This departure from average for your temperatures. Blue is cold, red is warm. Pretty simple. So right now the country is kind of gripped here in some colder air. See, it's backed up a little bit, but still there, a little warmer on the west coast there. Same kind of deal. That cold air moves off to the east. Moves off to the east again. You see another shot getting ready, maybe to come down. Yep, there it comes. Pretty cold. Maybe some modified Arctic air coming down. Swoops down into Texas and Oklahoma. Yeah. Same kind of deal we've seen so far this fall. Dips down really low into Oklahoma and Pennsylvania. Oklahoma and Texas. I don't know why I was thinking Pennsylvania. It's nowhere near Texas. It's over there. Anyways, cold air, 2/3 of the country. Out west, warm, high, and dry. Same thing, warm, high, and dry. I always say high in the east, low in the west. Or you have low or in the middle part of the country and highs on each side. It's just how the atmosphere balances out. And this is the last frame here. This is Sunday, November 10th. A little bit of cold front up there and cold on the East Coast. So we'll see what happens with this. Remember, if you live in California, know someone that lives in California, let me know. Leave me a comment about the fire situation. Let me know if the things that I'm hearing are true. Like I said, I see a lot of fake stuff on YouTube. People just clickbait and whatnot. And I like to kind of check out and see what other people are saying about these type deals. And I try to stay away from all the clickbait, all the false advertisement and all that stuff. I just try to stick to just the facts. Just tell you guys what's actually going on. And if you watch my video, great. If you don't, well, kind of sucks for me. But I'd rather be honest than try clickbaity things. So there you go. That's it for today. This is WX Ninja. Again, if you want to get the video, get those updates as soon as I make a video and know when it's coming out. All you got to do is subscribe and click the bell icon. So I appreciate it. Stay safe, everyone. We'll see you later. Take care.